his drink. And set to go. Slooshing around the drink in his mouth. That's what that sound is.
Well, so what?
Yeah. I didn't stutter.
I didn't stutter, buddy.
I didn't stutter.
You think I stuttered? I didn't fucking stutter. Jeez.
Someone stuttered.
So aggressive.
Ooh. Who's aggressive?
You.
Oh.
You're all like,
yeah.
I didn't freaking stutter, dude.
Yeah. I didn't stutter.
You think I stuttered, dude?
Yeah, you think I stuttered?
You think I stuttered?
You think I yeah. It's me. The non-stutterer.
I'm just I've never in my life.
Oh man.
So, bro, you're just leaving words out now. Holy cannoli, bro.
Cannoli?
You like cannolis?
That's a pasta, right?
It's an Italian pastry.
Oh, is it pastry?
Yeah.
So what am I mixing up with cannolis then? There's something.
You said a pasta?
Is it a pasta?
Like a pasta?
Yes, that one.
Ravioli?
Oh, maybe.
Let me get that ravioli, cannoli. Invite my Italian friends only. Coming over for dinner. With some sinners.
Sinners?
Sinners.
You're having dinner with them sinners?
Yeah, dude, I'm Jesus.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
We went from dictator to just God's child all of a sudden.
Ow.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Okie day.
Starting to sound like this one's gonna be a long one.
Nah, we'll be fine. Do you see some of these items in the shop?
What are some of the items in the shop right now?
There's this deep core red weapon skins.
Oh, right.
I like them
You
a
love
lot.
the red color stuffs.
This is like black and red, but the red is only like in the middle of the weapons. They look really good. I think I might have to buy this.
No. Game Warrior, he skipped over Napoleon and went straight for Jesus.
You're Jesus? Sheesh. What's up, Orange Crawdad? What up, Game Warrior? What up, Rabble? Rabble. Captain Destroyer.
Wait, what? Captain Destroyer's in the chat? Haven't seen him in like forever. Did he unplug his mic?
I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
All right, buddy, you ready?
Ready? Are we ready to push the button?
Recording has started. Podcast will start.
It has begun.
In 5.
Oh,
4.
That's 3, so mistimed.
2, 1.
I heard the click that time. See?
You heard the click?
I heard the click. Your microphone is so sensitive. I heard the click.
My microphone is so sensitive. I was thinking about buying another one, and then this microphone gave me a whole list of reasons why I shouldn't.
Okay, interesting. And
yeah, it got really upset with me. It was like, you're gonna buy another microphone? What about me? What about me, bro? What's up, buddy?
Hi.
How do you do?
I am broken.
You're broken?
I'm broken.
What does that mean, you're broken?
Well, you think that the multiverse of madness, Doctor Strange's multiverse of madness, would just stay on screen, like the madness?
Okay.
No, that got carried over into work.
Oh.
Work had my madness greenness in it.
Oh, I see.
Ah, you see? You see what I was doing?
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Tarzan. Oh, I see. How was the past weekend for you, aside from breaking you? Sounds like you're broken. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, we don't have to get
Yeah,
deep
no,
into
I mean,
it.
I guess I could say I have a couple of stories, I suppose, but you know,
I'll tell you what.
Jesus.
Give us the best story you think.
Um,
Top story.
I could probably. Okay. This went on to like a 1 hour. This went on to a 1 hour tangent on our on my live stream on Friday,
Okay.
but in our theater, someone was passed out in our washroom for about an hour and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What happened?
No freaking clue.
Really?
But of course, we didn't know until an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
Apparently, allegedly, I don't know.
Allegedly fell asleep.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what exactly happened. Okay, so I'm doing cleans, right? Because, floor lead for the day. And
Right.
I walk out of a theater clean, which is theater 10 at the time.
Okay.
Right? Rabble, stop spoiling the story. God damn it. Mute him now.
That's
What
all right.
guy?
The podcast listeners have no idea what he's saying in the chat, so that's okay.
So I get out of cleans, and like the podium person, the guy that rips the tickets or just tells you which theater you're going to and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Man's just missing.
Say again.
He's just missing. Like he's just not there.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, so where did this person go?
Yeah, where
Like,
did they go? What happened?
Why are they not on podium? And I see him walk out of the washroom, and I was like, all right, so like, why did you leave your station? When you're on podium, you're not supposed to leave podium. Not unless you're on break or something. And someone's covering you, and he's like, he looks at me, he's like, there's someone he's passed out. He's passed out in the washroom.
Jeez.
I'm like, oh, okay. But even then, that's not, you're supposed to call the washroom checker to,
Check
to
the
deal with
washroom.
that situation. Well, yeah, I mean, the washroom checker is supposed to be doing a washroom check every half an hour.
Okay.
That's just the way things run. So I go in and I see this gentleman is on the floor.
Passed out.
He's passed out. Yes. In I guess 3 different stalls. His entire body.
Well, like underneath the dividers?
He was underneath the dividers.
Wow.
And, like his legs were in stall 1, which was like the accessible stall. His body was in stall 2.
What a rude guy.
And then his head was in stall 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And his eyes were open as well. I don't know. I had like knocked on the door, and I was just like, no response, because I can't really touch him, right? Can't see if everything's okay.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
definitely don't touch him. Yeah.
Yeah. Just knock on the door, see if he responds. He didn't respond, so I called the manager over. Manager comes over, and and like, it's just like, okay, what's going on? And I'm like, he's not responding to anything. So then I was just like, hey, is everything all right? Do you need medical attention? And then he wakes up, like, he kind of jerks up, but like not so, like, he doesn't jerk high enough to like hit his head on the divider. Like, it's just enough to kind of like get close to hitting the divider.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. He's like, no, everything's fine. Everything's okay.
Yeah, you're just passed out on the bathroom floor, bro.
Amongst 3 different stalls. Like, what's going on?
Kind of rude. He's hogging it all.
Right? What if guys had to go to the bathroom in the past hour and a half? What's going on there?
Yeah, exactly. So what was his deal? Do you know why he passed out?
No idea, but he was very adamant on us not calling the ambulance in any way, shape, or form.
Probably drugs, I imagine.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, it's a mystery I couldn't solve.
Yeah, if it had happened in Philadelphia, that guy was definitely shooting heroin in your movie theater. But
oh, was he?
That's also because Philadelphia is the capital, the heroin capital of the world. So.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, I mean, of course, I can't dictate whether or not we should call the ambulance. It's always the managers. The managers has to make that decision.
Okay.
Right? And because they're all certified, they're licensed and all that stuff. Right?
Certified in what? Calling
like the health,
ambulances?
like the health. No, like it was first aid and all that stuff.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I
Tarzan.
see.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But they never ended up calling the ambulance. Big Boss comes in, and Big Boss is like, eventually is just like, we need you out of the theater, because that was his main concern, was getting him out of the theater.
Right. Well, yeah, I'd want that
like,
dude out too.
Yeah, and he was like, Mystery, I need you to escort him out the theater. I'm sitting there like,
You have to escort this meth addict out of there?
I got theater cleans to do. What are you talking about? Me escort him out of the theater.
So how'd you escort him out? What'd you do?
You? You're the big boss.
Right, he's like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. Mystery, you do it.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so he starts him, and I guess he had a significant other or something, like someone else was following along, because apparently they were waiting outside of the washroom.
The guy who passed out on the floor.
The guy who passed out starts making their way to the lobby area, and then had he gone left, he would have been gone out the doors. Had he gone right, he would have gone towards like our back, like dining area or whatever. And he went right.
Okay, so not leaving.
Definitely not leaving. They went to the table as they sat down for a bit, and at that point I was just like, sure. Like, I guess we could let him sit there.
He's just sitting down, not bothering
He's just sitting
anybody.
there. Everything's fine.
Right.
Everything's fine. Meanwhile, like the big boss is yelling behind me, like, you're supposed to be leaving the building that way. The exit's that way. And not just that, the assistant manager is also doing that. The exit's that way. And I'm like, okay, like, just let him sit there for a bit. Maybe eventually he'll get out, or maybe like, maybe he needs to call somebody, like some family or something.
Yeah. Hey, I passed out on the bathroom floor. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I'm like, what, dude? Come home. Where are you? The movie theater?
The thing. So here's a couple of things that I never like I was sitting there, I was wondering. I was like, so he was gone for a long period of time.
Yeah.
He was there with somebody else.
Right.
Where was that other person the entire time?
The answer is also on drugs, completely forgetting that they came to the theater with somebody else is probably the answer.
No, she seemed pretty like she I think she knew what was going on. She was panicking about what was going on though.
Oh, okay. Maybe
she wasn't sure like how to react, like how do I deal with this situation? Right. And all of that stuff. So I continue with cleans. I come back. He's now all of a sudden gone. Apparently he went back to the washroom to go ahead and go puke and all that stuff. Right. And so like the assistant manager goes back into the washroom trying to kick him out again. Meanwhile, my checker person, the person that's doing washroom checks, he's just like, yo, okay, like, he's puking. Like, let him let it out.
Right.
And then we can, like, we can kind of like get them out.
Yeah, let's not have him puke all over the hallway.
Right, yeah, just if you're gonna puke in the washroom.
Yeah, that's like the spot for him to be right now. Yeah.
Right, yeah, just go do it in the toilet. Let him do his thing, and then we'll just eventually escort him out as per your recommendation here.
Wow.
And so, like, with him puking and all that stuff, I remembered, like, he was on the floor. Don't you think we should probably check to see if maybe he has a head injury or something? Maybe he fell, for all I know.
Yeah.
I go to Big Boss with this information, and Big Boss is, oh yeah, no, we didn't check for any of that. What?
Yeah, you're certified too, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, hold on. Aren't you supposed to be? Isn't there like a whole procedure to follow here?
Wow, what a mess.
Oh man. But yeah, so then I went back to the girl, and I was just like, okay, so like, is there any kind of information you can like pass on to us so that we know, if something does go wrong, at least we can try to
like an emergency contact or something, right?
Yeah, or something. Is there anybody you can get in contact with? She was just like, I don't know. He was very adamant on not calling anybody at all, not even the ambulance or any of that. And I was just sitting there, and just based on her reaction alone, I was like, okay, so like, what's your relation to this gentleman?
Did you ask that?
I did, yes.
Wow, what did she say?
Girlfriend.
There you go.
Like first date.
First date.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, in my head now, I'm like, I don't think there's gonna be a second.
Yeah, either there's not gonna be a second, or she's trying to be like, well, if he gets in trouble, I don't really want to be associated with him. So first date.
Just looking for her
I
way
just
out.
met this guy. Also, don't call anybody because So,
Yeah, so I mean, I guess apparently he had gotten up and left, like I guess during the movie, went to the washroom and
Yeah.
never came back, right?
Yeah.
And then she came out after the movie was done, and she was just waiting for him near podium the
I
entire
can see
time.
that. What movie was it?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, he really didn't like it.
Didn't like the movie or didn't
didn't
like
like
the date.
it,
I
yeah.
don't know. Something
like,
was not.
Whatever it was, he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of
I
here.
don't know. It was a strange situation, you know.
Oh, I see what you did there. Thank God you had that little sound effect, because I would not have picked up on the joke that you had made.
Oh, good. Goody gumdrops.
Need a doctor for this strange situation. Oh.
I know, right? We needed a doctor for that strange situation.
So, did you ever escort him out or what?
Eventually they left.
Okay, so you just kind of waited for them to go.
Yeah, but like, you know, the assistant manager was very pushy on like me getting rid of them for some reason.
Yeah, of course. I love that. I love people who ask you to do something that they will not do themselves. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and escort the heroin addict out of here? And it's like, why don't you escort that? Like, nobody should ever ask anybody to do anything that they wouldn't already be willing to do themselves. And like, if you're not gonna force that guy out yourself, like, don't pass it off to somebody else. Grow up.
It's funny because I'm the one that usually ends up escorting people out of the building.
There you go. Well, like, look, if you do it, right, if you're used to escorting people out, it would make sense for you to go like, look, handle it, escort him out, just get him out. And everybody goes, oh, well, Mystery is the guy who escorts people out. So okay, I'll do it. Like, I don't know. I don't like any of that. I don't like your bosses, Mystery.
I'm sorry, Trax. I'm sorry you don't like my boss.
I need their phone numbers. I gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, they eventually left. I was concerned after. I was just like, so, like, if something happens to them after leaving our theater,
yes,
like, aren't we liable because we never gave them medical attention? We never gave them.
It's interesting that you pull that up. So you could be, right? When I was a bartender, well, I shouldn't say you could be, because there's different laws between every area, right? At least in Pennsylvania, when I was bartending, one of the things was like, hey, look, if you serve somebody alcohol when they're already drunk and then they go and they get in a horrible, awful accident, you could be held liable, or partly, for serving them more after they were showing signs of already being super drunk. So it would make sense to me that if you guys didn't like check for something or call somebody or something like that, they go out and then they hop in a scooter and run over somebody's cat. You know, like that might like come back on you guys.
Yeah, that was definitely something I was quite concerned about myself. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you know, big boss knows best. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it would fall on him. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they did. I mean, yeah, it's not like I didn't ask, hey, do you need medical attention? That was one of the few things that I knew for sure to ask, right?
Yeah.
Like, even before the managers arrived, that's something I had asked, like, hey, like, you know, do you need medical attention?
That's actually funny that you asked that. So my supervisors, that at our job at the post office, if we say that we're sick, or we say like, there's one time that I fell on ice and I kept walking, and like, you just want to kind of create a paper trail to kind of like protect yourself in case something had happened to like my knee or something like that from the fall, like having a paper trail saying like, oh yeah, you know, he did report that he fell down this day, blah,
right,
blah, blah,
like
whatever.
an incident report. Yeah.
So anytime you say anything, our supervisors always go, are you seeking medical attention? And it's like, bro, I literally just told you that I'm fine, that I'm just feeling, you know, a little, you know, tired or whatever. But they always do. Are you seeking medical attention? It's like, relax.
I feel like that's them covering their bums though.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like,
exactly right.
Yeah.
So that way, if I do end up dying, it's not on them. Well, he didn't ask for medical attention.
But also, I mean, the door was locked on the stall. The only way I'm getting in is if I'm forcing my way in via, like, you know, like a flathead screwdriver or something, you know? Like,
right. I mean, you could climb over
me
it,
asking him, like, you know, do you need medical attention? Like, at least if he's responding to me, then I can, you know, we can get a manager on the phone to call 911 or something.
Right,
you know?
right,
Like,
exactly.
I was on walkie at the time, so something as simple as like, oh, hey, management, we have a situation in the washroom. We do require, you know, ambulance.
We
or
have
something.
a situation in the washroom.
We have a situation in the washroom. Some guy missed the toilet, which has happened several times. Believe it or not, that's a big pile of shit that you just don't want to deal with.
Wow.
Also, just for you.
Oh well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much.
That
wow.
was one of the things that happened this weekend.
Well, that's exciting, man.
We also had another guest that came in and was like, "Hey, I think your security team stole my car."
Wow, that's not a good start to a shift.
Kidding. And then he went on to, I think your management team stole our car.
You should just start like letting it on. Like, yeah, dude, I think I probably was the big boss who stole your car. Actually, he's back there in that office. You should go talk to him.
Because the big boss wasn't there at the time.
Oh, exactly. He took the car and took off.
He took the car and left.
Yeah. It's like,
can I have access to your security cameras so I can see who took my car?
Was he asking for that?
Yeah, he was. And I was just
bro,
like,
you need
sorry,
to get the
buddy,
cops
the
involved.
security cameras are inside the building. We don't have security cameras outside of the building. And if they are, they're not pointing outside to the parking lot where your car was.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so crazy, dude.
We also had another guy that was so high. He kept harassing my cast members and asking them if they had a blood bank.
A blood bank?
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious.
These are the kinds of things that I was dealing with this weekend, on top of dealing with my 3 o'clock to close shift on cleans with like 300 people in almost every single Doctor Strange, screening.
Well, at least they made it entertaining for you,
No, they hurt me. I'm broken. Leave me alone.
You're broken.
I was so broken. I got a cramp on my inner thigh. And it still hurts.
Gotta stretch that boy out, my guy.
I gotta do stretches. You're right. I gotta do stretches.
Tall guy like you gotta stay flexible,
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Anyways, yes. Go on. Sorry. There was a couple tangents. How was work going for you?
I have worked a ton of overtime in the last week, which makes me really happy because my next check is going to be very nice. And so I'm feeling good about that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to report.
Oh, so you didn't have no strange phenomenons, no multiverse of madness shenanigans while you're, carrying mail?
No, I got my 16th or 17th PDI today.
They have, wait, you said once every 2 months?
What?
The performance, that's the performance one thing, right?
No, it's a pre-disciplinarian interview. Pre-discipline whatever interview.
That's close to a write-up, right? That's just a...
Yeah, I ended up getting a letter of warning.
Oh, okay. For what?
Being late in the morning. Being late. That's surprising, isn't it?
Can I get a PDI for being late for this podcast? Oh, who am I kidding? I'm late for my stream all the time.
It's really funny. Yeah, I'm just late to everything in my life. I'm falling apart. I'm a mess. We'll turn it around one day. Maybe one day.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we'll get there. A couple things to take care of first. No, you know what? I don't even know what number PDI it is now. I've had so many, and it was funny because during the PDI, I always repeat the questions back as my answers. So they go do you understand what the purpose of a PDI is? I go, yes, I understand what the purpose of a PDI is. And the reason why I do that is because they have to write down my answers word for word. And if they don't, then they can have the whole thing thrown out, which reminds me, he did not write down my entire answer for the first question. So I'm going to go to my shop steward and see if they can throw out the whole thing. Anyway, they're supposed to write down your exact answer for everything that you say. And so that's why
word for word,
yeah. And that's
so what if you're a really fast talker and you just keep going? How do they keep up?
Okay, that happened towards the end, and then he showed me what he wrote down. He goes, "Is this what you said?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I said. That's fine." But during the interview, it was kind of funny, dude. It's funny because I've had so many of them, and yeah, I don't know. It was I haven't had one in a while. But
so can you fight that? You guys are unionized, right?
Yeah, the union fights it. They go, he blah 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 blah, and then they go, yeah, but he's been late and he said he's not supposed to, and he is still. And then the union goes, whatever, dude, we're good buds, right? Can't you just let him slide a little bit? And then they go, okay. And, like, they do some kind of fake ass negotiation. I shouldn't call it fake because it's on my record, so it's real. But they
really fake.
I mean, I don't know how it works because I'm not a shop steward, so I actually don't know what those conversations look like after I leave the room. But they negotiate it out, and then my shop steward comes to me and he goes, yeah, you're gonna get a letter of warning. I argued it down from this thing to this thing, whatever. But this one basically, like, it was just very routine. Game Warrior just asked in the chat, he says, how has Trax not been fired? So when you work for the post office and you're a part of the union, it's very, very, very hard to get fired. You have to kill somebody or steal something to get fired from the post office. And since I haven't killed anybody and since I don't steal anything, that's why I'm still employed. Pretty low standard of employment, if I'm being honest. Don't kill anyone, don't steal anything. Although there's people get fired all the time for stealing shit, so. Yeah. So yeah. Rabble asks, how late is Trax? So every day it's between 1 and 5 minutes that I'm late usually. And I don't mean 1 to 5 minutes late. I mean 1 to 5 minutes past the grace period of 5 minutes that they give us. So I'm really like 6 to 11 minutes late every day.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually late this morning.
We've had at the theater, we've had people that are like 45 minutes to an hour late.
Wow, that's really late.
Yeah, but I guess the problem is right now is like we need the
people.
staff so much that
Right.
we can't just let them go.
Don't be late, but also you coming in tomorrow, right?
No, yeah, well, yeah, there's that, and there's also like the massive amount of sick calls. Like whenever people don't want to work a shift, they just call in sick, right?
Yeah, that's everywhere. Yep.
Yeah, so like I've had that over the weekend as well. Like we have a closing job called the usher. Essentially, it's just a person that makes sure like all the theaters are kind of exited and so on and so forth at the end of the night. And like they have to stay till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all of our closing ushers called in sick.
Wow.
Yeah. So like now we have to scramble and try to find somebody to cover that shit.
Oh, that's awful.
Unfortunately, that's why I sent you the text saying I'm not making it tonight. Cause
yeah, that's okay.
Guess who's the usher tonight? Because no one else is doing it.
We had a lot of fun on Saturday playing Halo.
Yeah, what'd you guys do?
We played some custom Last Spartan Standing.
Ooh.
Which was fun. We were playing it on some of the smaller maps, which was fun. We had a really good time. You know what was really good about Saturday was like the party chat. Like we just had such a good time chatting and talking. It was a really good time. So I'm sorry that you missed it. Yeah.
That's okay. There will be plenty more in the future.
That's correct. In fact, by plenty more, he means every Saturday, starting around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, we do a community night where everybody in the community gets together and we play Halo together. How about that?
What?
Oh, I met Yanatsi.
Oh, in person?
Yeah, last night. Was it last night? Yeah, last night.
It was so long ago, Nutsy, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. He was there, and we just had he's a very nice gentleman. It was very nice to meet him. He was really cool, and yeah. So just shout out to Yanatsi. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And I really enjoyed our time. I really enjoyed meeting you, and I think that you're a pretty rad person.
Rad means good.
Rad means good. Yeah, radical.
Yes. Rad. Yeah.
You're radical, man.
Yeah. So like a Brad. He's like be rad. Yeah.
But radical.
He's the one that says be radical.
So, Let's talk some Halo.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yes, let's talk Halo.
You see what I did there when I said let's talk Halo?
I see what you did there. What is it that you felt the need to speak about?
Well, there's a couple things going on. First off, this is like the second week now of season 2. I haven't played a ton of Halo in like the last 2 weeks. I've been going on sort of a State of Decay 2 binge.
I thought you were going to say sabbatical or something. I was like, what?
I've been going on a sabbatical from Halo. No, State of Decay 2 binge, and which is really funny because like they just dropped all this new content, and now like I'm not playing as much. But I will say that I have played a little bit more. King of the Hill is interesting. I don't know why, but something feels like a little bit off. I get that it's not classic King of the Hill. It's a little bit more like what they did with Oddball. And I like the change that they made to Oddball, but for some reason King of the Hill just feels a little funny. I don't know if it has to do with like the hill barely ever moving unless like somebody gets enough points for it to move on to like a new spot. I'm not exactly sure what my issue is, but it feels a little funky to me. I gotta play it some more. Last Spartan Standing, I've really enjoyed this mode. I think my biggest gripe is still this issue of where there's so many power-ups like overshield and camo, and I really think they just gotta toss camo. I hate camo in that game. So
yeah, it really slows things down for sure.
Yeah,
in Last Man Standing, I agree.
But it seems like people are kind of excited by the changes. They like the changes. There's also some things that they changed that some people don't like. So there was a couple things in the campaign. There's like some glitches that people would use to speed run, and apparently they patched those. And then there were some special jumps on multiplayer maps, and they had to rearrange some of the geometry to prevent people from making some of these jumps. Yeah, there's this one jump that's on the level streets, and if you know where the thruster spawns, and then inside of, I think it's Seabase, there's like a little kind of like a, not a catwalk exactly, but there's this area inside of Seabase, this like hallway where the battle rifle or the commando spawns, and then you can see out to like where the thruster pack spawns, and there's a jump, and it's really difficult, but there's a jump where you can jump from that lower spot on streets up to that hallway where the battle rifle and commando spawn, and they got rid of it. And a lot of the pros were like, hey, why'd you get rid of this? This was like a skill jump. It wasn't easy to do, and when people pulled it off, it was like kind of impressive. So I think that I've seen like a bunch of complaints, and I think that I share the same sentiment of like, why are you spending time taking away these things that nobody's complaining about? But like you could be focusing those resources and those people to things that we are desperately trying to get fixed. And I think that I share that, and I hope that 343 will make the changes that people are more upset about, rather than some of these other ones that like nobody complained about. Nobody complained about some of the skill jumps. Nobody complained about there's something called a tank gun that was showing up in the campaign that really helped people with speed running, and like they patched it out, and it's like, no, that wasn't hurting anybody. That wasn't doing anything wrong. What's hurting people is the state of your multiplayer networking issues, where people are suffering from severe desync, where they're behind a wall and they're still getting killed by somebody, and it's like, how did I get killed? I was already behind a wall. And it's like, well, that's desync. So it's weird that, to me, that they're kind of spending time patching out some of these things that like nobody's upset with and are kind of fun. But you know what, whatever, like that was important to somebody at 343. I just kind of disagree with it a little bit. So
this is the one person. There's one person that was very adamant on this.
Yeah, seriously.
They pushed very hard, and then they're just like, "Fine, Stan. Okay, well, get rid of it."
Yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't. But that's okay. I mean, you know, do whatever you want, I guess. So I have been liking season 2. I've been enjoying season 2. I like it. Again, I said this a little bit earlier, but we were playing Last Spartan Standing in custom games, and that was fun to do it on different maps. I really believe that they need to do something with like the weapons that you spawn with and can upgrade to.
Right.
I have noticed that almost everybody in our community was holding on to the pistol until they could get the commando, basically. And so people were just like not leveling up because they wanted to get that pistol, and I'm one of those people too. So I think it's like, okay. It also made me feel like, you know what, Halo needs a proper gun game. They need an actual gun game that goes from starting out with like the weakest weapon, going all the way up, you know, hammers and rocket launchers and rifles and everything, going all the way to the end. I really think that Halo should do that, like have a proper gun game, because this last Spartan Standing has like gun game elements to it, but it's not gun game. So I don't know. Last Spartan Standing is like, it's good, but like there's some areas for improvement, and if they just make a couple changes, I think it's like a great mode. So I'm hoping that they listen to the community, and I hope that they make some of those changes.
Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Last Man Standing.
I'm not exactly surprised by that.
Fair enough. I mean, I did prefer attrition more. But like the elimination like style of like game is just, I guess, not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I get it.
And no, it's not because I'm losing all the time. Yeah, I'm actually winning a couple of games here and there. Okay.
Have you won a game of Last Spartan Standing yet?
Yeah, I've won about 3 or 4.
Wow, really?
And I'm usually like, whenever I play, I'm usually, you know, somewhere in like the last 3 or something, and I don't know, you're
not excited by like the player count going down, and then it's just you and one other person? Like you don't get like an adrenaline rush from that?
I don't get that. No,
I
not at all.
Don't get that at all. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know. I get more of a rush when it's like Team Slayer and it's like 49-49 and the last kill wins kind of thing. Like I get more of a rush out of that.
Wow. Okay.
Which is I guess that's kind of a crazy thought, you know.
No, it's not crazy. Look, everybody has their own preferences, and there's nothing wrong with preferring, you know, a very closely battled, contested Slayer game over being one of the final 2 or 3 in Last Spartan Standing. I think that there's something that, for whatever reason, like maybe it's just like whatever games we played in the past and the experiences that we have, or maybe it is personality based, but like being at the very end of a Last Spartan Standing game is so exhilarating for me.
Right.
And not that like a Team Slayer game tied 45-45 and working with your teammates to try and win isn't. Like that is too, but there's definitely something special about Last Spartan Standing being one of the final 1, 2, or 3 people left and battling for that number 1 spot. So I think that there's something to that just speaks to my personality, but I would also understand that it doesn't necessarily speak to everybody.
Yeah, I feel like I'm spending too much time trying to find people to slay than I am like actually, you know, doing stuff.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that.
Maybe you know what? It could also be like the way I'm playing, but also the way I'm playing might be working. You know? Like,
yeah. Look, if you're getting into the top 3, you know, every game and you're winning a bunch, I feel like your strategy is working. So.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I mean, it's also like, yeah, the active camo really kind of just, it really slows things down.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And then, yeah, the overshield's all right, having it, but yeah, I guess I just don't, I mean, I'll keep playing every once in a while, I suppose, but it's not something that I would definitely, like, you know, I'm going to dedicate tonight to Last Man Standing. I'd probably rather sit there and do a free-for-all, and you know, in a rumble pit or something, you know.
Yeah, I really wish that they would let us go into social games with like our party. I would have loved to have done Last Spartan Standing with like 7 of us in the party, and then we go into Last Spartan Standing, they just like fill in the other 5 spots. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, getting a full game is obviously a lot more fun than having just 7 people doing it. So, and because it is not ranked and it is social, I feel like you should be allowed to do that. So it kind of bums me out that you can't do that. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. What else was I gonna say? I was gonna say one more thing about Last Man Standing. I can't seem to remember it now.
Well, that's okay. Whenever you think about it, you just bring it up randomly.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Joe, well, are you okay if I move on from this topic?
Yeah, sure.
So Joe Staten did a podcast for Kind of Funny Xcast. Have you ever heard of this podcast?
No, I have not. What is this? What is this podcast? It's called Kind of Funny Xcast.
So Kind of Funny is the name of the organization. It's Greg Miller's organization. I don't know if
IGN, Greg Miller.
Yeah, I don't know if they still belong to Rooster Teeth or not, but they're still making content. So Kind of Funny is like the name of their group, and they do an Xcast, which is an Xbox podcast, basically.
Oh, I get it.
And they had Joe Staten come on, which was really, really cool. So there's a YouTube version. There's also an audio version that I think everybody should check it out. In this podcast, they were, asking Joe about season 2 and the fans' reactions and everything like that. And, hearing Joe's answers on everything was really good. But what I want to talk about and what I thought was exciting was when they were talking about season 2 content to kind of hold us over until season 3. So one of the guys, half joking, basically said something like, it'd be really cool if there was some other stuff to hold us over until season 3. Bringing back like classic maps might be like a kind of like a cool way to do that. And Joe Staten, the way that he replied, he kind of replied like, that does sound like a good idea. The way that he replied sort of gave everybody the impression or the idea that, hey, maybe leading up to Forge, because people have been working with Forge for a while, maybe leading up to Forge release and season 3 release, that they might have some classic maps brought into Halo Infinite. And that got me kind of excited. I love the idea of seeing classic maps in Halo Infinite right when the game released, and you realize that they solved the sprint issue. It made me think like, oh, okay, all of the classic maps that we loved from Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, all of those maps now work, even Halo Reach, all of those maps now work in Halo Infinite because you don't have to expand everything the way that you had to in Halo 5 in order to account for sprint. So because sprint and the base walking speed are so close together, you can kind of go back to some of the old school Halo maps and bring them into Halo Infinite. And it got me thinking, Mystery, what maps would you really like to see in Halo Infinite? With the sandbox that we have in Halo Infinite, with the gameplay, with how everything moves, what are some maps? I think maybe you and I should come out with like a top 5 maps that we want to see in Halo Infinite multiplayer brought back for season 2.
For a reimagining or like a full-on like scale, 1-to-1 ratio?
A scale 1-to-1 ratio. It could be a reimagining, but not like the difference between Halo 2's Lockout and Halo 3's Blackout, which was basically the same thing. Not like Halo 4 had a map and then there was like a Halo 5 version of it that was like a reimagining, and it was like kind of the same idea, but it was pretty different. So I definitely mean more like a 1-to-1 recreation, bring it back, maybe with some changes, but
okay, sounds good.
Identifiable to most people.
Are we collectively doing 5, as in like you and I doing 5, or like individually doing 5?
Let's individually do 5. Just give me the 5 that you think like you want to see back the most. Yeah, let's do that. Do you want to start off, or do you want me to start off?
Why don't you start off?
Okay, I'm gonna try and avoid some of the super popular obvious ones.
Okay, I can agree to those.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid like Lockout. I'm gonna avoid Guardian from Halo 3.
Blood Gulch, probably.
I'm not gonna avoid that one. That was gonna be my first pick. Okay. I love Coagulation from Halo 2, which was basically Blood Gulch from Halo 1. I feel like every Halo game that has brought Blood Gulch back, there's always been some kind of weird issue with it. When they brought it back in Reach, well, actually, when they brought it back in Reach, I think that was fine. I didn't play it much because I didn't play Reach. But when they had the Halo 2 Anniversary edition of it, it was very different. And I think there was even a Halo 5 version of it. And it was just so expanded. It was just so big. I didn't really love it. So I think with this game, with the speed that everybody's moving around in, Blood Gulch could play really, really well. So that's my first pick. And I also think that like having some more big team battle maps would be a good idea. So my first pick for sure is Blood Gulch. And honestly, I think a 12v12 Blood Gulch would be fucking awesome.
12v12 Blood Gulch?
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Oh my, you'd probably have to have enough like more vehicles and stuff in that.
Yeah,
as well,
sure.
Right?
Get
like,
some
yeah,
more
let's
vehicles.
just throw in more vehicles. Throw in some more weapons that can take down said vehicles. I think like Blood Gulch is a pretty solid one.
It's such a good
map.
map.
A lot of folks will definitely want to have come back.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I was actually thinking of, it's a Halo 3 map, Standoff.
Oh.
I know it's kind of out of left field, right?
No, I like it. I like it. Again, these aren't the maps that are like super, super popular, so it's good to hear different ones. Now, let me ask you a question. Standoff was played 4v4 and 8v8. What playlist or in game mode were you kind of thinking to have it in rotation for Halo Infinite? Or would you play it kind of like how Halo 3 did it, where it would be both a 4v4 and a 12v12 map for Halo Infinite?
I'm thinking 12v12 might be a little too large.
Okay.
Right. Sorry. That was 12. Like too many people on a small map. Like 12v12. Yeah. 12v12 would be too many people on Standoff.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like it's probably good for like your 4v4s. Because we have to take in consideration we have sprint now, and Standoff never had sprint before.
Yeah.
Right. So like there's much faster ways to get across the map and all that stuff. So it could be a little bit more fitting for a 4v4 scenario. That also allows for vehicle play as well.
Okay.
In a 4v4 scenario.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool to see like, the Wasp and like the Banshee at some point like on each side of the base or something, and like, the Warthogs being like driven around and all that stuff. It's a great capture the flag map. I enjoy playing it capture the flag.
Yeah.
It could work for a good one flag as well.
Yeah, some of the most crazy flag games I've ever played have been on Standoff, because like you have to go through that area where rocket launcher spawns and you're just like in the middle and everybody's fighting and it's like I just gotta get to the rocks. Right? That's a really fun map.
The idea of flipping a switch to open the door that could lead to like an easier access or another way into the base, that was also a really good, like that was a really cool thing.
That was neat.
I also kind of like the lighting and like the colors of like Standoff.
Okay, I could see that.
That's definitely something that I thought would definitely could do for a good like remake.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my next map is going to be Beaver Creek or Battle Creek. Beaver Creek Halo 2, Battle Creek Halo 1. I think that I prefer Beaver Creek because instead of having the ladders, you have like the ramp that you can run up, and I kind of like that. I loved this map back in the Halo 2 days. I think that it played really, really well with objectives and also Slayer. And I just want to see that map come back. I think it's a really solid map. And again, like taking into consideration the sprint speed versus the base speed for Halo Infinite, like playing on these maps will be so much fun again. You don't have to worry about the expanded hallways. Beaver Creek
would be so different now,
Yeah, I would love to see it. So Beaver Creek is my second pick for sure.
Okay. Picking from like the OG classics?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to pick maps that maybe haven't been remade as much. I mean, Coagulation gets remade all the time, so
right.
But I'd like to see. We haven't seen Beaver Creek. We haven't seen an updated Beaver Creek, I think, since Halo Reach. So I would like to see it.
Okay. I would probably go for Skyline from Halo 4.
Oh, good pick.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I haven't heard many people actually say Skyline is a fun map, but like
that's a decent map for sure.
I enjoy playing Skyline. I love it for CTF games that we get to play.
Yeah.
It's a good for free-for-alls as well. There's so many like layers to Skyline, like it works out really well for free-for-all. It works out really well for capture the flag.
100%.
Not just that, I feel like it would also work well for like the armor abilities and all that stuff that we pick up, right? I think the only exception would probably be the grapple hook. It could kind of suffer a little bit.
Okay.
Grapple hook. But I mean, there's a lot of things to attach to, so maybe you can kind of zip your way through as opposed to zip your way up,
Sure.
So yeah, Skyline, I think I've had some pretty insane and pretty intense like capture the flag games, and I also like the background, the scenery.
Skyline is a very pretty map to look at.
It really is. I like that the Hornet, or sorry, yeah, was it the Hornet or the Wasp?
I don't know.
Whatever that came in and just it just popped up, just shined a light somewhere and just like flew away. It gave a little bit more depth. It gave a little bit more like liveliness to the map, which was nice.
I think it was a Hornet. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyline's a good map. Skyline is the map that the Halo Global Championship had ended on between Ace and Pistola, and that was such a fun map to watch them battle it out in a 1v1 on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was a cool thing to watch. I think my next pick, what do I have so far? Coagulation, Beaver Creek. Oh boy, what was the next one that I wanted? Oh, Headlong. Headlong from Halo 2. I know it's another Halo 2 one, but Headlong was such an awesome big team battle map. So Headlong was like this construction skyscraper skyscraper that was being like in the middle of construction, so there were like these beams and like things that you could kind of walk around and run around on around the map, and it played so well with flag, it played so well with bomb. It was just one of those maps that was so great for objective and good for Slayer too. So I'd like to see that map redone 12v12. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that works. That works actually. Mm-hmm. I was debating on either Timberland or Japhyrophobia.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre pick, but I just like saying the word Japhyrophobia.
I don't even remember that map. What game is this? Halo 4?
Halo CE PC.
Oh, Halo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even know that then.
Yeah, so it's literally just one long ass bridge.
Oh,
that's
okay.
like suspended, suspended above like a chasm. It's hence Japhyrophobia.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Japhyrophobia is the fear of bridges.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one really long bridge in Halo CE.
Yeah.
It had teleporters that allowed you to get to the sides, like the side walls. There's the left wall and the right wall.
Okay.
That can allow you to shoot down on the bridge as well. And like that also ran along parallel with the bridge, which was really cool.
Okay.
But Timberland, I love like the hills. There's all these kinds of hills and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For Timberland, which is also a good big team battle. Also, Japhyrophobia is a big team battle map. So, like, I don't know, either or, it doesn't matter. One of those two,
right,
work for me. That's my Halo CE like odd pick of a map that has not been done. Redone.
I think that's a great pick. Well, for my fourth map, I want to take the map. What was it called? Shoot. It was Haven from Halo 4. Now, I know that it's kind of like one of the more popular maps from Halo 4, but right. I do think that it's not really requested in the same way that you're getting Lockout and some of those other ones. I really like Haven. I think that if Haven had come with Halo 3 or Halo 2, it would be looked at as like one of the better maps ever to come to Halo. I think that it sort of like isn't as popular just because it was there with Halo 4. So I'd like to see Haven come back. I think that that's an excellent 4v4 map, one of the best ones designed.
Yeah, Haven had a remake in Halo 5 as well, right? Mercy.
Was it called Mercy?
Yeah, it was on the planet Sanghelios.
Okay.
Yeah, where they had like the whole like the elite statue and all that stuff in the middle of the map.
Right. Yeah, the remake fit Halo 5 pretty well.
It was really pretty too.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely like to see. You're right, it was remade for Halo 5. That's interesting. But I would definitely like to see that in Halo Infinite.
Okay, I'm thinking. I don't know if this would work, but backwash.
Oh, interesting.
I want to see. Yeah, I think this would be really cool. This could be a really cool map with like that flood, like the flood like fog or whatever.
Flood fog, yeah.
Yeah, like that. I mean, it could just bring a very different environment to be fighting in, especially since we missed the flood.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the flood hasn't been around for a while, but a lot of people want to see the flood, come back.
Sure.
And all that stuff. So it could be a good, like a neat little. There could be a neat little Easter egg or a neat little hint of like, maybe the flood could come back.
I like that idea a lot.
What would the flood look like in Halo Infinite?
Right. I like that idea a lot, and I also think that that is a great map for forgers who want to do some more like really creepy kind of like
infection
maps.
game types or stuff.
Infection, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Could you imagine that map with the grapple hook where like you can't even see like the person, and then
oh my
all
God,
of a sudden
yes,
the grapple
just
hook comes
imagine.
out of nowhere?
Yeah, grapple hook and swords like in a map
great.
where like it's a little foggy.
It'd be great. It really would. That would be an awesome thing.
Right. Yeah, so I also found like there was you were if I remember correctly, you were able to play like oddball and all that stuff on that map, right? There was a free for all. Was it free for all? Pretty heavy. It was a small map, right?
Yeah, it was a small map, but there were bases on either side.
Right.
I remember playing all game types on that map.
Right. Okay. If not that, then Waterworks would be nice.
Yeah, Waterworks is an interesting one. That was one of my favorite maps. What was really cool about Waterworks is there were all these areas that you could kind of like explore and get into like the nooks and crannies in. That like at least upon like booting the game up the first time, it's like oh you can go up there, you can kind of hide up there. That's so crazy. And it was such a big map. It was that was one of my favorite Halo 2 maps for sure. And we haven't seen anything Waterworks since Halo 2, so
no, we have not.
I would be down for a Waterworks remake.
I'd like to say that I could have sworn there was like a forge on one of the Halos of Waterworks, or they tried to.
Yeah, I could see that.
I want to say it was Halo 4, maybe. I'm not 100% certain.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Waterworks is a really good pick too.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that for my final pick, this is again going to be a
Is it final pick already? I thought, are we on 4 or 5?
I believe that I'm on 5. I had Coagulation / Blood Gulch. I had Beaver Creek. I had Haven.
Yes, this is your 4th.
I thought I had another one. Maybe not. Okay.
Haven was your last one. This is your 4th.
I thought that I had another one in there though. Maybe not.
I'm the only idiot that's been doing like 2. Like
no, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, well, either way, for my 4th one, there was oh boy, I just had it in my head and then I lost it. What happened?
Oops, my bad.
No, you're okay. Well, one of the other maps that I was thinking about is a map from Halo 2, and this one I think would just be a lot of fun for custom games. I don't know if it would play well in multiplayer, but there's a map in Halo 2 called Colossus.
Ooh.
And Colossus was a very strangely designed map.
It really was when you think about it.
But one of the really cool things about it is that, like, okay, when you start off on a there were also bridges that would either be there in the game or not be there in the game depending on what playlist you were in. But if you're going into a 4v4 game, you would basically spawn, and the goal was basically to run to the other side of the map to try to get to the battle, try to get to the sniper rifle. other team was basically doing the same thing. Excuse me. So right when you spawn, there's this weird like back and forth kind of shooting. Like you're probably not going to kill somebody, but you're trying to kill somebody at the same time. Everybody's kind of like just laying into each other and shooting each other as everybody's also like running, making a beeline for the sniper rifle all the way at the front of the map. And there was just something about that was so unique to that map. I don't know any other maps where you spawn and you take a couple steps and you're within eye view of the other team, but like you can't get in each other's faces yet. You're just like looking over at them as you're trying to make your way to the sniper rifle. It was just kind of like an interesting dynamic that map presented. On top of that, there's a giant man cannon. I don't know if it was considered a man cannon. What would that be called?
It was a grav lift for sure.
Okay, we'll call it a gravity lift. This massive gravity lift that would just launch you into the air. Making you a really big target for people, but at the same time it was just kind of, sometimes it was fun to just fly up the gravity lift and turn around and kind of like just move your body to go up it like again. And so for some reason I'm just thinking about all the fun kind of game modes that, you know, you could play and have played out on that map where everybody's just jumping on the same gravity lift going up and down. I don't know, there's something about that map that had a couple different aspects to it that I have not yet really seen since. So I'd like to see that map come back for those purposes.
Just do like a game type where it's like I Spy or something, where you just like the entire team is just in that grav lift going up and down, and like the other team is trying to avoid being sniped or something by you. Like, you know,
exactly.
Like,
that's great.
When you snipe someone, you just yell, "I see you!"
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. So that's my fourth pick.
Okay, my fourth pick would be either Powerhouse from Halo Reach or the Spire from Halo Reach.
I don't remember either of those.
Because you never played Halo Reach.
No.
Okay, so Powerhouse was a very like Team Slayer, free for all kind of map.
Okay.
Right. I like that there's like there's water that's kind of flowing through it. There's also like there's multiple layers which could be fun for the grapple hook. There's trees that you can kind of attach to with the grapple hook.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get yourself around the map quickly. What else? There was like a shotgun in like the back. It was on like the side of a cliff kind of thing.
Okay.
Which was really cool. And it was a great map for game types like Headhunter. It was so much fun to play Headhunter on it. It was good for free for all. It was good for, was there assault? I don't know. There was no assault on there. But I think it could be interesting to play assault on there. Maybe maybe the team could one team can spawn where maybe it's like a one-sided bomb or something where you pick up the bomb and you have to go take it into the base and blow it up.
Okay.
Kind of like a high ground kind of thing, you know?
Right.
I think that could be something interesting to toy around with. But yeah, no, there's so many layers to it. There was one choke point where there was like a gravity hammer that spawned in like the bottom basement area that just a lot of people had tended to kind of go around to.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's this interesting mix of like you know, man-made objects in like a natural environment, which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Spire, on the other hand, big team battle map for sure, hands down.
Okay.
And there is this massive like tower in the middle of the map. Like you make your way up with like a grab lift, and like you can jump off.
I know what
and,
map
like,
you're talking about.
Yeah, when you can jump off, there's like some of those like there's like grab lifts that kind of like slow you down.
It was like a Covenant tower, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There are so many fun moments that I've had on that game where
I bet
in Halo Reach, when you're playing on the Spire and you're running in, you're trying to get the flag or something, or you're trying to get the bomb or whatever, and you're just in invasion, and you grab it, you're making this leap of faith to hope, you know, to hit that landing spot, like, you know, and all that stuff. While there's like a Falcon flying around or like a Banshee flying around, there's just absolute insanity in that map.
I could see that map being a lot of fun again in Halo Infinite for sure.
Yeah. So either or, Powerhouse if you're looking for something social, and then like Spire for something big team battle related.
Okay.
What is your fifth, sir?
My fifth and final map that I want to bring back is Ivory Tower. Another Halo 2 map. It was remade in Halo Reach, I think.
Reflection, yeah, in Halo Reach.
And I really, really liked Ivory Tower. It was one of those games, or it was one of those maps that just, there were so many different ways to move around the map, and you would constantly have different fights during different games in different areas of the map, because like sometimes you'd have a game where for 5 minutes everybody keeps rushing down where the sword is and everybody's kind of just trading kills. There were times where everybody would be in like the one hallway that had the overshield in it, and then there's the other side, and you know, with the shotgun. And I think that it was just a really well designed map. I thought it was like a lot of fun. I like the name Ivory Tower. I just yeah, I like that map, and I would love to see that in Halo Infinite for sure.
Okay, yeah, no, that would definitely be interesting.
I
having
got
like
too many Halo 2 maps, but I don't care because I think that these would be really good in Halo Infinite.
Having that drop shield could be interesting, because you know how you have the shotgun and energy sword spawns, right? Like and like there's like overshield spawn on like the ramp side.
Right.
Shotgun, like just imagine having an overshield, a drop shield, and a shotgun just to try to stop the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
That's running at you. Wasn't there was a sniper rifle on that map too, right?
There was,
like,
yeah.
that gave you lines of sight.
Yeah.
But there was always ridiculously fun moments on that stinking lift, because like it always glitched on reflection for some reason. Yeah. Like you just be standing on the platform and then you go flying upwards because of like you know, the peer-to-peer connection there.
Yeah, that elevator was such a mess. Sometimes you're riding up it and just like throws you up in the air for no reason. You're like, I'm just trying to ride this thing. What's happening?
Right.
Yeah, that was one of those. That was a cool map. I really like Ivory Tower.
It could be interesting for your long hallways to have like your those grenades. I can't remember those grenades. The EMP grenades.
The dynamo.
Yeah, the dynamo grenades. Just kind of like throw that down the hallway to stop people from like, you know, moving forward.
Oh yeah.
And trying to snipe you or something off the top, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. The final pick for me would have to be, what would it be? I'm thinking, what was it called? Is it Stasis? No. Yeah, Stasis.
Stasis.
It's a Halo 5 map.
Okay.
I really liked Stasis.
I'm trying to remember what was on that map.
That one was one of those DLC maps that came out a little bit later. That was like the snow map. There was a snow map.
Okay.
It was remixed. It was a remix from another map. Torque. It was a remix of Torque.
Okay.
I really like that. It's a free for all map.
I gotta Google this because I can't think of it.
Yeah, because again, layers. I like the idea of there's being multiple layers. It's great for free for all. It's always fun to do. You had at the bottom, in the bottom middle, you had Overshield.
Oh, this was a good map.
Yeah, in the top middle you had Rocket Launcher, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like it'd be really cool to see like maybe put the why am I blanking on the name? The skewer in the middle in there instead, and you know, just have at it, you know.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that could be really fun. It was great. It was definitely a great CTF map for sure.
Stasis was really good for CTF. Great for Slayer, great for CTF.
Great for free for all.
I think even King of the Hill was really good on it. It was definitely one of those maps that like everything worked on it.
Yeah, Oddball was fun on that too.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to escape and there's all sorts of paths you can take, right? So yeah, I would probably go with Stasis for Halo 5.
Okay, I think that's a really good pick. That's I think a very underrated map.
Yeah, I tried to go for obscure, underrated maps that, you know, that were actually fun, and I also picked one from every game.
Nice. Well, you did much better than I did.
I tried to.
What was your Halo 2 map?
I don't know if you caught on to that.
Waterworks?
Halo 3 was Standoff.
No, Halo 2.
Halo 2 was either Waterworks or, what did I say? Waterworks or something else. Now I can't remember it. Thanks.
Sorry.
What did I say for Halo 2? There's so many maps in Halo 2. I can't remember it now.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, Backwash.
Waterworks
to Backwash. That was it. Yeah.
Good job using all the Halo games. I feel like I should have done that. That's okay.
Well, it wasn't a requirement. But,
no, it wasn't.
I did like the idea of having a mix from every game to kind of be thrown in there.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Unfortunately, we didn't say Sandtrap, which was another fun map to do.
Yeah, Sandtrap would be good, and you need a map like Sandtrap where it's good for all like the rocket race games and stuff like that. You know, it's just like a bunch of ramps all over, and
I just love the elephant being like, you know, just driving the elephant just for fun, you know.
God,
honking the horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It goes abysmally slow, but you know, it's just great fun doing that. And then also the moment when you flip over that elephant, and then you have to when you try to flip it over again, like you hold RB or hold X to flip over. It's like hold X to flip over. Wait, how'd you do that? Like, you know.
Did you ever load it with fusion coils and fire it and then just let the?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Halo
so
does that. Halo 3 4. It's like, oh my god, that thing went flying.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
I would love just we have to do like a race where it's just like on the outside edge there's just a bunch of elephants that are loaded with fusion coils and they're just like flying in left, right, and center. You're just trying to make it to the other side or something like that.
That's a really good one.
Well, be like an elephant shredder.
Those are our picks for maps, classic maps to bring back for season 2. Let us know what your classic maps are that you would want to see in Halo 2, in season 2 of Halo Infinite. What classic maps do you want to bring back? Let me know down below. Okay, well.
Question for you, unrelated to maps.
Sure.
How far have you progressed in the Battle Pass?
The season 2 Battle Pass?
Yeah.
I'm on level 4 right now.
Okay, so you're not that far in.
No.
I've heard, and I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but people have been saying that, like, apparently, like, as you progress through the Battle Pass, there are more, like, scenes that get unlocked.
I did know, and I saw this on YouTube, of another scene that gets unlocked, kind of closing the whole thing out. So...
Okay, so it's not, like, throughout, it's more of, like, this is your intro, this is your outro?
I think so, and I actually think that has more to do with the event interference than it does with the Battle Pass. I could be wrong though.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, no, I remember glancing at like an article or something or like a comment, and like that's what they said. Like, oh, as you progress through the Battle Pass, you'll get more cutscenes or something.
Yeah, I think it's the event pass that is really what's happening, and I think it's when you get to the end of that. I could be wrong though.
Okay, so when you reach like level 10 in the event right now, then there might be another cutscene?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I didn't know about that, so, or like, that's what I heard of, so.
Yeah, I don't know 100% sure either, but I'm pretty sure about that.
You're pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Okay, sir, is there anything else Halo related that you want to talk about before we get into listener questions here?
How's the series?
The Halo TV show?
Yeah.
The last episode I was not the biggest fan of. Ooh. It was a good episode by account of everybody who I know who watches the show. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't say everybody, but mostly everybody liked it, thought that it was a decent episode. The episode before this one really focused on the Master Chief and Dr. Halsey and everything like that. So this past episode focused on some other characters that I'm just kind of like, ugh, I can't wait for this to be over. And so it was sort of
kind of fillery-ish, but like, oh, this might be a little important later on. I don't know.
It wasn't
character development.
It wasn't filler unless you consider this whole character just a filler character, which I do. So it's like, yeah, it felt filler to me because it's not Master Chief, it's not Halsey, but it is sort of the conclusion of one of the characters from the show. She goes through a whole arc And so I feel like the arc took too long to get to. Like, it was kind of like, okay, this character in episode 1 she's pretty much the same for episode 2, 3, 4, and 5. She's not even in 6. So episode 7, when she shows up, then like she goes through her entire arc in one episode, and it just felt like, okay, this probably should have been spread out a little bit better.
Oh, okay. So maybe just have little bits here and there throughout the episodes.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't care about this character at all, so they could totally toss her. But that's just how I feel. From what I could tell, people liked it, so it's just me.
That's not what I'm seeing right now.
It's just me.
In the chat.
It's just me.
All right. I mean, I played with the Goof Troop a little while ago on Monday, and one of them is watching the Halo TV series, and apparently they are confused as all shit.
Really?
Apparently, yeah, they're very confused as to what is going on. Like, apparently it's so confusing that they don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. So you got they know that the Covenant is like, yeah, the bad guy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think they're questioning like Oni and like, are they good or are they bad? And then they're also questioning like, Halsey, is she good or is she bad?
Well, that's part of the charm of the show.
You know, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the, like, that's by design, right?
Right.
I think by design, what they want you to do is go like, okay, I want humanity to make it. Why? Because I'm human and I'm supposed to root for humans. But at the same time, there's just a lot of shit people in the show. And so it's interesting because they don't show you a ton of redeemable people.
So maybe that's where the confusion could be coming from.
Yeah, that could be. Like, again, Dr. Halsey, I mean, we ask people this all the time. Is she a villain or a hero? So when she's like your main character in your show, it's like, is she a villain or a hero? And so when people are asking that, like, who don't necessarily know all of Halo, they're going like, who am I rooting for? I do kind of understand that. And maybe, you know, maybe they could work at having some more charming and likable people.
Well, that could, I mean, I'm not to defend it or whatever, but that could be part of the arc of the UNSC altogether, or the arc of humanity altogether.
Could be, sure. Yeah, but I can
have to unite to fight the Covenant. I don't know what's going on in the show, so it's like out of context for me.
I can see how somebody would look at the show and go like, I don't know where the good guys are.
They're all bad.
Because even Master Chief is like in the first episode, it's, you know, it's like, oh, this guy's just a killer. He's just a killer with no emotions. He's a Spartan. And so it's like, okay, well, who's good here? And you root for Chief, especially, you know, as he starts, as Chief is going through his arc during the season. He's really one of the only people to root for. But everyone else is kind of like, I don't know, you know?
Okay.
Like,
so I guess I have a better understanding now as to why he could be confused.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, if you're looking for a Lord of the Rings kind of like, here's all the good guys and here's the bad guys, it's like, it's not that simple. The Covenant part is simple, but among the politics within ONI and the UNSC, it is complicated. I mean,
to be fair, that's pretty lore accurate because, UNSC and ONI are very...
It's definitely lore accurate, and I think that it's good for a show. It's not straightforward, and I'm okay with that.
Okay. Interesting. And when are those watch parties, sir?
So every Thursday night, about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to change everything 9:30, I think. 9:30 p.m. Eastern time is when we start watching that show. We do it in the Discord. All you have to do is join the channel that says Halo TV Show Watch Party. You click on it. You will see my screen, and then I'll pull up the show, and we all watch it together.
Neat. Oh, burrito.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So We're doing it every week. We only have 2 more episodes.
That's it? 2 more?
I think so.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think this past episode was episode 7. Let me pull it up real quick and make sure. But I think this past episode was episode 7. And so I think that we just have 8 and 9. We either have 7, 8, 9 or just 8 and 9. Let me check here.
Oh, man. Why was 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
7's a badass.
Right? Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how 7 could even eat 9, but did it.
Sorry, the show started playing.
Did it.
Yeah, so there's only 2 more episodes left for this season.
Are they doing like a longer like last episode, do you know? By any chance?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Was the first episode like longer than the second or third or so on and so forth? You know how sometimes they do like their pilot episode?
Yeah, look, there's a couple episodes that are a couple minutes different, but
okay, so it's not significant.
No, it's not significant. They're mostly all an hour.
Okay, all right. Alrighty.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what it is. Let's go ahead and get into listener questions here.
Listener questions. Do you know what the topic of the week was?
I don't.
Pizza,
very nice topic.
Yes indeed. We have pizza questions for you, sir.
Very good. Let's hear these pizza questions.
Okay, first question comes from Rabble Just Rabble.
Rabble.
And Rabble asks, a common meme at pizza places outside the US is America style, where the pizza is loaded with French fries and other unhealthy foods. What would be on a Canadian pizza? Bacon, maple syrup, the souls of 2,500 dead bandicoots?
Whoa. This seems like a question that's more up your alley there, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely the souls of 2,500 dead bandicoots. That's the mystery special, man. That's 100%. He's referring to my Crash Bandicoot playthrough and how I've killed 2,500 bandicoots.
Wow, that's a lot of deaths.
Yeah, but that's over the course of like, 4 or 5 games. So not to try to justify my actions, but a lot of them did happen on a bridge.
I didn't mean to murder.
A lot of those deaths happened on a bridge.
I didn't mean to throw all these animals off the ledge.
Right. Listen, I was trying to get this bandicoot in sneakers and a pair of jeans across the bridge, and the bridge was unstable as shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time he jumped, he fell into a hole, and his shoes came flying up. Okay. We actually do. There is like a Canadian pizza, which is like pepperoni and like mushrooms, and I think sausages on it as well. That is dubbed the Canadian pizza.
Well, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, it's actually I enjoy it.
I feel like poutine on pizza would be really good.
Yeah, just throw on poutine.
Yeah, just throw.
Get some maple syrup for sure. Yep.
No, not the maple syrup. No maple syrup.
Maybe just throw on, just lightly, just a little bit, just get that taste in there,
But I think that would really be good.
Just imagine cheese and syrup. Oh man.
That sounds gross.
And instead of it being like shredded cheese, it's just cheese curds on our pizza. That's the Canadian pizza.
There you go.
Cheese curds. Yeah, cheese curds and like the Canadian bacon, which is very different from American bacon, and a little hint of maple syrup, 100%. We throw in like a little bit of gravy as our pizza sauce.
Wow.
Just to give it that little and that little just get a little that poutine taste. Yeah.
Sounds
great.
great.
We don't really have tomatoes on our pizza.
All right.
And coffee crisp. Lots of coffee crisp.
I don't even know what a coffee crisp is.
That's a Canadian chocolate over here.
Oh, I want to try some of those. That sounds good.
It's like a coffee wafer with like chocolate on it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next question from Rabble Just Rabble, and he asks trivia.
Nice.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah. If you want pineapple on pizza, put pineapple on pizza. You put whatever you want on pizza, my dear. Whatever you want. It's up to you.
Does it belong on pizza? Sure, why not? Pizza's pizzas, man.
Pizza.
Pizza is pizza.
Pizza is pizza.
Pizza is pizza. Oh, this is a spoiler question. Hold on, what is the answer? Nope.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my lord! I didn't even realize that. It took me a second. Oh dear lord. Yeah. I mean, is that a rule? Is that a rule?
Some people feel that way. Yeah. Some
the whole
people feel
pizza. The pizza topping is what I'm referring to. Like, is it a rule that you can have like anything, or is there specific things you need to have on a pizza?
No. Look. Okay. What is pizza? Pizza is some variation of tomato sauce and cheese on bread, right? Like, at the end of the day, what is pizza? Like, that's really what it is. And you don't even need the cheese. You really don't. You basically just need the I'm gonna call it crust. You basically just need the crust and the sauce. But you don't even need the sauce because you can exchange it with something else. So really, it's like a hot pie. Like, what is pizza? It's a hot pie that traditionally has some kind of combination of some kind of tomato sauce and cheese is really what it is. But the toppings, that you throw whatever you want on there. There's white pizza, there's red pizza, there's plain pizza. You know, it's just cheese and sauce. You can throw toppings on there. You can do whatever you want with it, and that's what's so beautiful about pizza. Is there's so many different versions, so many different ideas of it. Today I was at lunch and a coworker of mine had Caesar salad pizza. Legit, all the things that you would find in a Caesar salad, literally just on top of a crust, and that's what it was. It was a chicken Caesar salad pizza slice. Was
there cheese on it as well, or
there might have been some Parmesan cheese, but
okay.
Like the same amount that you would have in a Caesar salad. So not really for the pizza itself, you know? So like you put whatever you want on pizza. You want to put pineapple on pizza, you go for it. All these people telling you how to make pizzas and stuff like that. Dude, everybody, you know, I'm very libertarian here on pizza. You do whatever you want with it, okay? Just don't do anything to my pizza, okay? You be okay with whatever toppings I put on mine. I'll be okay with whatever toppings you put on yours. As long as you don't put your toppings on mine, then I'm fine.
Okay, next question comes from Just Shady.
What's up, Shady?
Just Shady asks... Oh, wait, he doesn't ask anything. He says... Okay.
Nice, a comment.
Just Shady comments, if you don't like pineapple on pizza with ham... You're a Tom Cruise fan.
Well, I'm a Tom Cruise fan, but I also like pineapple and ham on pizza. So perhaps, maybe pineapple and ham on pizza is less of a Tom Cruise thing and more of a we can all come together here kind of thing. You know, Tom Cruise fans, non-Tom Cruise fans, we can all come together here.
He's referring to the Hawaiian pizza, correct?
Yeah, that would be Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, the Hawaiian pizza that was originated in Ontario, Canada.
You guys have all those pineapples up there, right?
Fun fact. Yeah. We have pineapples over here.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Okay. NASA is the next question. Oh wait, no, next comment. Nessa says, silly was Nessa that is, pineapple does not belong on pizza. I said what is said. Fight me.
I said what is said. Fight me. That's what she said?
No. Oh, sorry. I said what I said. Fight me.
Wait, read that over.
Pineapple does not belong on pizza. Hashtag I said what I said. Fight me.
Well, you know, some people feel strongly about it. Some people do. Good for them. There's lots of injustices in the world, and the one that I respect people getting behind for sure is the pineapple and pizza.
love what you're doing right now. This is fantastic.
What am I doing?
They're very clearly trying to get a rise out of you, and you're not giving it to them.
I'm not.
I absolutely love this.
First, like, clearly some people thought I was going to be very anti-pineapple on pizza, and I'm totally for it. And for the people who don't like it, that's good. Don't order it. No, look, as long as the government doesn't mandate me to eat pineapple pizza, like, I'm good with it. People can get whatever they want, or mandate you, like, if you don't like it, you know?
That's funny. All right, next actual question from Silly Goose Nessa, and she asks, best and worst pizza topping.
Oh, okay, this is good. So my favorite pizza topping is, well, it's tough, man, because I'm just gonna go with my habits. So regardless of what I say, the topping that I choose most for pizza are mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
I usually always get mushroom pizza.
So what, like just strictly just mushroom on the pizza?
Oh, it's like a plain pizza, but just with mushrooms as a topping.
Okay.
What's your favorite one, and then we'll do the worst ones.
Oh, okay. I felt like you were gonna say more about
Yeah, sorry.
One of my favorites would be spicy Italian sausage.
Yeah, perfect.
Delicious. I enjoy having spicy Italian sausage on pizza.
Totally. Now I'm hungry.
I know. Right now I want pizza.
The worst pizza topping for sure is ricotta cheese. Ugh, I hate it. I hate the texture. I think it's gross. I love mozzarella cheese. I even like mozzarella and cheddar cheese that's like baked in. I even like the fresh mozzarella cheese, like the white kind of jellyfish looking kind of things. Ricotta cheese, I think it's gross. I think it's nasty. I don't like it. I don't think it should be on pizza. I don't think it should be in lasagna. I hate ricotta cheese. I don't know how people like it. It's gross. And I think that the people who like ricotta cheese are generally usually the worst kinds of people that exist. So I'm very anti ricotta cheese.
Okay. I lean towards no olives, please.
Oh yeah,
olives. Yeah, for me with olives, what I don't like about it is, like, even if you pick off the olives, somehow it kind of seeps into your pizza.
Oh yeah, all that olive oil.
Yeah, like that oil and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the taste of that, of like green olives or even black olives, unfortunately. Like, I'll still eat pizza by taking off the olives if I don't like it, but I don't like that aftertaste of it like seeping through into the pizza itself. And all
I love olives. I will eat what are they called? Queen olives? Yeah, queen olives. Those are like the green ones, pitted, and usually they put some kind of red pepper or something in there. I love those, and I can eat them like out of a jar. I love blue cheese olives. I think that those are so good. The flavor combination of what you get with the blue cheese mixed in with the olive, it's so good. When I get martinis and that kind of stuff, I always get dirty martinis. I love the olive juice mixed in with gin or vodka. I think it's so delicious. But olives on pizza is awful. It's gross. I don't like it. I wasn't
sure if you're gonna say awesome or awful.
No,
for
awful.
A second. I was like, where's he going with this?
I was basically trying to let everybody know I love olives, and even I don't like olives on pizza, just to further back you up. I think olives on pizza is just really gross. Black olives by themselves, I don't really like all that much. So black olives on pizza is even worse, because those are usually the olives that you see on pizza. I don't think that I've ever had pizza with like queen olives. I would try it just because I like those kinds of olives, but yeah, black olives on pizza is pretty terrible, man.
I'm looking up this queen olives. What is this?
They're just like the big green ones.
Apparently it's just a common olive. It's just a common like green olive.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You know what's funny? I never liked olives until I became a bartender. And I would kind of like want to snack on something. I'd be kind of hungry. And the only things that you can really eat as a bartender when you're out at a private gig and there's no food, you can eat cherries and you can eat olives, and that's basically it. So like I just kind of got used to the taste and then started
Your
liking
diet
them.
was just cherries and olives.
Yeah, basically for a couple hours every night. It's like, oh, I got olives and cherries and lemons. So, you know.
Did you mix up the olives and cherries at the same time?
No, Mystery. That sounds disgusting. Oh my god. Ew. No.
It really does, doesn't it?
No, that sounds terrible. I'd rather have.
Get that desperate?
I'd rather have olives on pizza than olives and cherries to. Oh my god, I'm thinking about it.
Oh man! Oh no, he's puking! Oh no, he's puking! Change topic! Change topic!
That sounds awful. I definitely do not like that idea at all.
All right, next question comes from Igayap.
That was a fun question.
That's Paige. Backwards. What kind of pizza would Master Chief eat?
Oh, what a great question. He would probably eat Ungoy pizza.
Just a bunch of grunt bits in a pizza.
Yeah, he would bring home the slain grunts from his battles.
Oh my lord.
Throw them in a shredder. And then throw the little grunt pieces on the pizza and cook it up.
God.
He'd eat his enemies.
The Covenant would be like, "Where are our grunts? They're not even dead on the battlefield. They're just gone.
They're gone and on pizza.
We have 100 grunts that are just MIA from the battlefield." Chief's just sitting there like patting his belly and burping. Oh god.
Yeah, I like it. That's the kind of pizza Chief would eat.
Man, you really went left field on that one.
Did I? Is that left field? I feel like John's favorite pizza though, right? If we're going like John, not Master Chief, but John.
Right.
You
Okay.
know? I think that he's probably like he's probably one of these like what's the name of it? Margarita pizza kind of guys.
Okay.
That's where there's like the open slices of tomato. It's kind of a cool pizza. It's not like super cooked because he's a cool guy. So he's like a cool pizza, you know? Margarita pizza.
Oh man. Okay. I feel like Master Chief would eat a pizza that has anything blue on it. So like a blueberry. Little blueberries on it.
How come there, Mystery?
It's Cortana.
So you're saying he wants to eat Cortana?
That's not what I'm saying.
He wants to eat Cortana, so he's going to eat blue stuff on pizza?
No. Way to twist it.
I'm just asking. I'm trying to get clarification.
I was thinking, you know, typically you have Master Chief using green, and then like, you know, there's Cortana that's blue. So I figured like, yeah, a pizza full of like what are blue foods, like blueberries?
That's it. On it. That's it. Blueberries.
Just okay. Just a
and they're barely blue. They're almost purple, really.
Oh man, it can't be just blueberries.
Come on, what else is there in nature? There's barely anything in nature that's blue except some like weird frogs and butterflies from the rainforest.
Oh man, is there the blue cheese? Is it? I mean, that's
not even really blue.
It's still blue in the name.
Does have blue in the name. That's true. A blue whale.
There you go, blue lobster.
Blue lobsters. You can throw them on your pizza.
There you go. There's your meat.
What topping is that? Whale. What? Bro, not only are you eating whale, but like it's a topping for a pizza, bro? Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, so anything, yeah, just pizza with like blue toppings on it is my pick for what
blueberries and whale. There you go.
Yeah.
Good
what
pick.
would John eat? I feel like John would just straight up just eat like, you know, pizza with like the crust and just the tomato sauce, not even the cheese. Just eat that
just
raw.
eats the crust. He orders a pie and then he gets like his own pizza cutter at home.
Yeah.
And he just like goes around the edges and then he just like takes the crust from each slice and just eats that. So he wants
so,
like toast. He just wants toast, really.
He doesn't even get like the tomato sauce on the pizza. It just he dunks the pizza in a like tomato sauce dip.
There you go.
That's how he eats it. All right, next question comes from Captain Destroyer.
Captain Destroyer.
And Captain Destroyer asks, do you guys believe that in the current state of Halo Infinite that the game should have been released as a live service game? I believe it should have been kept a little longer in the chamber and released at the end of 2022, Oof. Where they could have had more time and less stress with being live service, even though it doesn't feel like that.
Well, look, hindsight is always 2020, so like now we're looking back and going like, should they have released it when they did? Look, it's hard given all the issues that they have right now and how many of the issues are fundamental issues in their engine and everything like that they're trying to fix. It's hard to look at all of that and say like, no, that was a good release time. There were just so many other pressures. And, you know, they want to keep the team healthy, so they're not working them to death. You know, honestly, maybe this game would have been just fine and had as much content as everybody wanted if we would all stop worrying about the employees of these companies and just let them go through the crunch, let them be like drilled down and given extreme deadlines, let them work 80-hour weeks, you know, put them to work and just crunch and grind on them. That way we could have had a content complete game. So I'm going to go ahead and blame all the people. I'm not going to blame 343. I'm going to blame all the people who are on Twitter who talk about how important it is that workers don't have to work really hard. I'm going to go ahead and blame all those people for why the state of Halo is what the state of Halo is. And quite frankly, if you're too afraid to you know, have your employees work and do things in an industry that traditionally has always had these sort of things like crunch and stuff like that going on, you know what, then I don't even know if another year would have really even helped them. We'd probably still be running into other issues. So I don't actually know. Look, I'm being facetious here with the whole, you know, grind them. They're human beings. I want them to be okay. Okay, I'm fucking around with that. I don't know how many of these issues they would have seen, because so many of these issues come to light when you release a game and you have millions or hundreds of thousands of people playing it and reporting bugs. For instance, there's a bug right now that is jamming people's guns. And when they were doing their internal testing, they didn't see it. The game wasn't put out to enough people to try it for somebody to run into that. And so, you know, if they knew about a lot of the issues that they were having with the slip space engine, look, maybe you can make that argument that they should have waited longer. But boy, people wanted the game out so bad. I think it's okay how it happened and what's happening. I think that as long as they continue doing what they're doing and they have the vision that they have and they keep moving towards that direction, I'm fine with them releasing it the way that they did. I know that I've had a ton of fun with people playing this game, and I know that I really like it. I know it's not content complete, but I've really enjoyed it, and I'm okay playing this game and waiting for more content to come. Sometimes it can feel a little frustrating and you're like, wow, this isn't a complete game. I do get that, but God, I love this game so much. I really enjoy it. So I would not have wanted to have waited another year, I don't think.
Okay.
I do want to address all this. Look, I'm trolling a little bit, okay, when it comes to the workers and everything like that. Like, I don't want them to. I do think that there's a little there's something to be said about getting into an industry where crunch and these kind of things just happen, and then complaining about those things happening when you get to make video games and stuff like that. It's like, it would be like me joining the post office and being like, God, working in summer sucks. It's like, yeah, dude, it's just part of the gig. It's part of the gig. So I think that's kind of like how I see that, but I don't think that not being crunched to death is why there's so many issues with this game. I think that they're all fundamentally, there were shortcuts that were made developing this engine to try and get this game out on time, and those shortcuts are now they're dealing with those shortcuts that they made at the time. So I don't know if there's any number of hours that you could have crunched people with that would have fixed all those issues. So I think that either you delay the game a year, or you kind of just accept it for what it is now, you know. And I think that I accept the game for what it is now.
All right. I mean, I guess, like, at the time that Halo Infinite was released, for me personally, I was like, I was okay if they had delayed it, regardless. I think I had mentioned that on the podcast.
Yeah, well. You did. I remember you being in that camp.
Yeah, I was like, if they had said like, oh, we're gonna delay it 6 more months, I could have waited. Like, yeah, I was excited just as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong, right? But like, you know, I feel like I would have wanted to have had at least the core, like all that core elements that they are working very hard on right now, to have been completed before releasing, and then they can work out the live service kinks and all those bugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
After the fact, right? Like, you know, the Forge, the custom games, and like
Forge ready, custom games ready,
yeah,
co-op campaign.
All
yeah,
that.
I get
it. If they had said like, you know, 6 months, I need another 6 more months where we can focus our teams specifically on that, and not having to, you know, multitask our teams by having a small team work on this and having a small team work on this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, of course, you've said with the benefit of hindsight, it could have been more beneficial, but had they said that before release, I would have been like, okay, you know, it sucks that we're getting another delay, but, you know, if we are getting a little bit more of a complete package, or a much more complete package where they can truly focus on you know, working out that live service stuff after the fact, then, you know, that would have been beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things, and I'm sure that this went into their decision-making process
right
when they released it, is that, like, we have seen live service games launch be deemed unacceptable, awful, no good, and then as time goes on, they get fixed and there's content that gets added to it.
Mm-hmm.
They turn out to be really good games. I think Rainbow Six Siege is the best example of this. When that game first launched, there were a bunch of issues with it. There were so many problems, and it wasn't that popular. It was a little popular. As they were fixing things and continued to fix it, that game blew up. Maybe years, or at least a year after it released, and became super popular once it had a certain tipping point of like content added to it. And I think that we'll likely see that with Halo, because I think that the core of Halo, and by the core I mean the gameplay aspects of it, the sandbox, the movement mechanics, I think the core of Halo, the foundation of it, I'll call it, I think is really, really good. So, you know, as they add to it, and as we get custom games and stuff like that in Forge, I think that you're going to see the game do really well, and obviously better than it is now. That doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, release the game in whatever state, but it does mean that they probably thought about it,
right,
and went, you know what, we're going to be okay if we can add to it as time goes on. Let's get this game out to people.
Right. Plus, Halo Infinite is not as abysmal of a launch as everyone, you know, or people may be claiming it is. We've had far worse of a launch.
Yeah.
Being MCC.
Yeah, any Halo fan, there's no way you can look at the launch of Halo Infinite and go like, this is disastrous. It's like,
yeah, no.
We've had much worse.
And look at MCC now. Like, people are going back to MCC and still playing MCC, and they're still updating MCC. They, a couple of weeks ago, they just had, you know, flood firefight and like bug hunt and all these other different little content added to firefight in Halo 3 ODST.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So yeah, exactly. Is that. So it's not, I mean, this is it's mediocre, sure, but it's not the worst.
Yeah, I think mediocre is probably a pretty good description. Like, it's not where it should be, but this is not terrible.
And who knows, like, what would Halo Infinite look like 2 years from now?
Yeah.
Right? Are we gonna be happy that we went through this little bit of a grind, or are we just gonna be in the same spot?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, there's the answers to those questions. Or that question.
Final question from Captain Destroyer.
Game Destroyer.
And Captain Destroyer asks, I think, I'm not sure. I'll just read what it says. Also, fuck live service games. What's the point? Why can't we have games like Elden Ring and Halo 4, which are content complete or full? I'd rather have paid $100 for a content complete Halo Infinite, which had all the content it should have in 2023, than now for free with little to nothing. Oh, wait, I already did pay $100 for Halo Infinite, and it had nothing. To be frank, I've had enough of Halo. It saddens me to see my lifelong passion come down to this.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, and I don't disagree with you completely either. I will say this, that if you spent $100 on Halo Infinite, you didn't need to. It is a free game, and the idea of like, well, I paid $60 for Elden Ring, and I've spent that much money on cosmetic microtransactions in Halo Infinite. It's not the same exact thing, because you have access to the game without having to pay for it. That being said, it being free to play is no excuse for it not having the content that it should, right? Live service games, obviously, it's a business model, but it works. And not only does it work, it's what people like, and it's what people respond to. So we can hate live service games all we want, but all we have to do is look around at the other live service games that are doing well, that are popular, that, like, look at it from the other point of view, okay? Hey, let's come up with a business model where our fans don't have to pay for the game. If they want to, they can get cosmetics and stuff like that, but they don't have to pay for it. It's going to be free. And not only that, but we're going to be able to deliver new and exciting game modes and stuff that they've never seen or played before months, years after it launches. Elden Ring has come out and it's done well, but nobody's going to be talking about Elden Ring except for at the Game Awards for the rest of this year, probably, because it came and it went. And Halo 4, you paid $60 for, and it was content complete, but that game came and it went. And Halo 5 did a little bit better, but if you look at Halo 5, what did Halo 5 do? Halo 5 stretched out the first year, having all content dropping. It wasn't a live service game, but they kind of dropped the content sort of like it was a live service game. Every month there was a new update where they dropped more content. And it was a strategy, and it was a way to drip feed the community content to keep them around. And that kind of thing works. It works, and people like it, and it keeps the game fresh and interesting. So as much as we think, oh, we don't like live service games, and I'm not saying that you're disingenuous when you say that you don't like them. I know that people don't like live service games. However, for Halo to continue to exist and be relevant, it needs to make money and it needs to do well. And a live service game, like, that's just what it is right now. And it works for Halo fans. As a Halo fan, I love that Halo multiplayer is free. I love that it's a live service game. I don't think that they have executed the live service part of it well, but let's say that every season was 3 months. Let's say that we had new content 3 months in, more content 6 months in. Every 3 months, we were getting 2 new maps. We were getting more game modes. Let's say that they were executing on the live service part well. Let's say Forge was here at start. let's say that co-op campaign was here at start. I think that live service in Halo looks great, but I think maybe what might be happening is we're looking at all the problems with Halo, and then we're looking at, oh, it's a live service game, and now we're equating all the problems that Halo has with it being live service. But I don't think that that's the case. I think the problems that we see with Halo, a lot of them don't have to do with Halo being a live service. They have to do with either poor execution, or they ran out of time, or whatever it is. But that's not a fault of the style of game, it being a live service. That's the fault with the studio making the game. So I hear what you're saying, and I certainly share your frustration, and I still don't exactly disagree with you, but I do think that there's more to the story of the problems with Halo that aren't just it's a live service game. I think it's kind of easy to look at that because it seems kind of like a greedy money play, and so it's easy to look at something like that and go like, well, that's the problem with it. But I don't think it is. I think the problem with it is the execution of the studio, not the free Halo multiplayer that we have access to.
But Trax, it's easy to point the finger at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Look, you can I will stand right next to you and say that live service is creates FOMO, and people might be spending money that they shouldn't be on cosmetics that are going to disappear and stuff like that. Like, I get it. It doesn't feel good, and that doesn't feel good for a Halo player. It doesn't feel good to see an armor that you really want, but it's locked behind a paywall. Like, that does suck. But I don't think that those are really the big problems with Halo right now. And by the way, in case you're not sure what FOMO is, it's an acronym for fear of missing out.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
I never heard anybody ever say FOMO.
Really?
No, yeah, I've never heard. That was the first time for me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that perspective. I like that perspective that you have, where it's just like, hey, man, like, it's not because of live service. It's more of the execution is not exactly ideal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they've had so many problems. And like, I guess solutions are just not as easy as we think it is. Right? I mean, it's so easy to just be like, well, just move this piece of wood there. Like,
right.
Okay, but like, how? It's heavy. How do we do that? Like,
right. Yeah.
Anybody could just say like, oh yeah, theater cleans are easy. You just sweep, you just pick up and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do it in the most efficient way possible when you only have to do it in 5 minutes before the next show has to go in,
right.
That kind of stuff, right?
And like, I totally share his frustration, and like, I think that that's very well warranted. Like, the way that he's feeling, I identify with, and I agree. I just don't know if the live service is the issue,
But the live service could be the stress.
Part of it, yeah, sure.
Because there's of course that deadline, that crunch, that like, and with that crunch and that deadline, there could be also miscommunication and all that stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah, but like you look at Fortnite and how they treat a live service game. You look at something like that, and it's like, wow. New weapons, new cosmetics, new maps. They, like, what a great game to be able to play for free. Fortnite, so much fun, so enjoyable. You don't have to spend $1 on it, and there's constantly new content that you have access to as a non-paying person.
It wasn't always like that, though, right?
What do you mean?
I feel like I've asked this question before. Where like for Fortnite, like, how they're pushing out content left, right, and center right now, right?
Yeah.
Very early on, did they have like development issues? Do they have like issues with like actually pushing out content?
Well, they had a problem with finishing the game
for Fortnite, right?
Yeah. But
okay.
the live. Okay, so here's the interesting thing about Fortnite. The live service aspect of Fortnite, they nailed it almost right out of the gate. They invented the battle pass maybe a month or two into the game's life on Xbox.
Okay.
Where Fortnite struggled was with their story mode, the mechanics and all that stuff. They showed the game off, I think at E3 2012 or 2011 or 2013. The game was in development for like 6 years before it released, right? So the game releases with the story mode, barely anybody's playing it, and they go, hey, let's put out a free little side mode. We'll do Battle Royale because PUBG's popular, so we'll make our own version of that and people can build, and let's put that out there for free. That way people can kind of get a taste of Fortnite, and then they'll buy the story mode. And then before you know it, they're $1 billion studio who created one of the world's most successful games that we've ever seen as a side mode. Their side mode, this would be like Halo. This would be like the infection mode in Halo becoming like the most popular thing in the world. And everybody thinks of Halo as infection mode. And it's like, no, there's like a campaign. There's other game modes. There's a whole bunch of other stuff there. It's like, yeah, I know, but like infection, bro. Infection. Like that's what Halo is. Like that's kind of what Battle Royale was for Epic Games for Fortnite. So it's kind of interesting because it's not only did they catch lightning in a bottle, but it wasn't even the bottle in their hand.
That's a good one. It's like they had like a bottle on the side that was just on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, because they wanted to catch 2 lightnings or something, you know?
Yeah, they were trying to catch...
had this one bottle they're holding in hands and the other one
they had the bottle in their hand. They're out there in the storm trying to catch lightning, and it flashes behind them and like fills up another bottle behind them, and they're like, "Oh, I guess okay, I'll take that."
That's a good one. All right, well that wraps up all the questions for today.
All right, well let's wrap it up here, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This was episode 79 of the Red Spartan Halo podcast. Mystery, what do you got going on this week, buddy?
This week, tomorrow we're doing Dungeons and Dragons. I guess, well, today as of the release of this podcast episode.
Very nice.
Dungeons and Dragons around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Beautiful.
I believe we're doing a wedding episode.
Oh,
and
okay.
The Dungeon Master is very excited to be doing this episode because he's
it's gonna be like a
plans.
red wedding situation or
That's
something.
what everyone is thinking. Yeah, it's a red wedding situation here.
Jesus
maybe
Christ.
possibly, I don't know. He's been plotting this for a few weeks at least.
Sounds
now,
like
so.
somebody's dying.
Yeah, we'll have to see how our crew handles this situation. But yeah, that's that. And then Friday I will be continuing Borderlands on Friday.
Nice.
And then Monday, depending on how far I get in Borderlands on Friday, Monday will probably end up being more Borderlands or Borderlands 2. Depends on, how I progress on Friday.
Very nice.
Sir, yes, sir.
We have the Halo TV show going on tomorrow night, or Thursday, May 12th, around 9:30 p.m. We'll be watching the show in Discord. Saturday night, starting at 9 p.m., we have a community night where we will be playing some more Halo Infinite. On Sunday, we have anime night starting at 9:30. In the Discord, we have been watching My Hero Academia, and we've been watching a bunch of episodes every night, so we're going to fly through this season probably. But we've been enjoying that show for sure. So some new people who have never watched anime before have shown up and been watching it with us. B-Boy Will, this is his first anime that he's watching, and so it's kind of cool to see him react and be like, oh, okay, oh, this is neat. That's kind of exciting. And I think for Silly Goose, I think that she's watched some other anime before, but I know that she's sort of like limited in what she's watched, and going from Attack on Titan to this show, it's like very different genres, and this one's like a little bit more relaxing and fun. Attack on Titan is pretty intense, so it's a good kind of change of pace, I think, for everybody, and to experience different animes and stuff. So everyone's having fun with that, so definitely if you're into anime, come and just hang out with us. We have a really good time with it. And I think that's pretty much it. We'll be back here next week with episode 80 of the Red Spartan Halo podcast. So until next week, I love you guys. I will see you. Be safe over the weekend, and I think that's it. All right, bye.
Goodbye. Trax, that's a mighty fancy t-shirt you got there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How often do you wear that shirt?
Probably every week.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And how's that print lasted? Has it been, is it still pretty solid?
Yeah, the print's fine.
Ah, okay.
And I actually really like the this shirt, the way it fits. I actually really like it.
Oh.
This is a different company than Stream Elements though, isn't it?
No, it is Stream Elements.
Is it?
Yep.
This shirt for this event was from Stream Elements?
Yep.
I really like it. It's very soft.
Is it? Yeah. I've had, it's been, I think it's some of them have been kind of hit or miss sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Unless some of the t-shirts that I have bought were from Streamlabs. I can't remember.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I found that like I have one t-shirt that's either from Stream Elements or Streamlabs, and like the graphics kind of already kind of like fading off.
Oh, really? That's no good.
Yeah. It's not one of my designs, so like it is what it is. But,
right.
Like, I'm wondering if it's like, that's why I asked you. I was like, is it one of those things where it's just like maybe like they do after a while kind of fade?
No, this is holding up really well.
So far, the Heartbreaker one's been fine. I've worn the Heartbreaker more than I've worn the Memorial Stream one.
And I wear this when I'm working too, so it kind of takes a beating with like the strap that I have on and stuff like that. So this is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this shirt is holding up really well, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Anybody who was here for the live stream, thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for being here. And I will see you all next week for the live stream. Bye, guys.